Good morning, you guys. It's day number 62 of my Stay-Batical to 50, 100-day journey, trying to change this body of mine, this mind of mine, and pretty much watching whatever else happens. So thank you so much for joining. Come on in. Got a great topic to talk about with you guys here today. Hope you're enjoying this Monday morning. It is cool here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I think it's like 42 or 3 degrees. Yes, still shorts and t-shirt, because that's how I roll. I don't need no stinking jacket. Maybe 10 more degrees cooler, gets in the low 30s. Then I might be cold enough to wear at least a windbreaker jacket. But I don't get cold. I don't. I love the cold. So I get a little double duty out on these walks. Not just getting the exercise in, but getting a little cold exposure in. And so I like that. We do that. So good morning to you guys. Good Monday. Hope you got a great week ahead for yourself. I wanted to talk about a topic here. Before I do that, by the way. So you know those new shoes that I bought last week to help with my ankle pain in my right ankle. So the shoes are doing great to help my ankle. But now I have this unintentional, unexpected side effect of the new shoes. I've got big blisters on both of my big toes. And so I had to take a rest day yesterday because of these blisters. They were so painful, and they still pretty painful. I'm especially the right one. I'm just going. The left one got really big, so I was able to pop it with a straight pin. And once I popped it, the pain stopped. It's still gnarly looking, but it's not in pain anymore. Well, the one on the right didn't quite develop into a big bubble. It was just this little tiny hard skin. So I tried to pop it. I got a little bit to come out, and it's better than it was yesterday, but damn, blisters hurt. So I think because these new shoes, and they're bigger than any shoe I've ever owned, 14 wide width, maybe my foot is moving around in there as I'm walking, and it's just rubbing to create that blister. So wish me luck today. I may try to go to Walgreens and figure out an action plan for preventing blisters. Maybe some kind of extra padding or something right there at the big toes. Anywho, first world problems. I'll take it. So what I wanted to talk about here today is this topic of putting your focus on the big picture. And you guys have heard me often on these walk and talks talk about always keeping in mind what your goals are, what it is that you're striving after, and use that as your motivation for reaching your ultimate goals to keep you going when you're not feeling great. And that's kind of what I wanted to focus heavily on here today, is put your focus on the big picture. Stop living and going through a journey as if what's happening in the here and now is what's always going to be. And I know we live in a very pressure cooker society where everything that we see and hear in the moment is what gets people riled up. It's what gets people to react emotionally and just react and respond in some way. And it's all about the here and now. We don't think about a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We just think about the here and now. Think about, let's do an experiment. Think about 1 year ago. 1 year ago, what were you worried about? What were the major concerns of your life at that moment 1 year ago? Do you remember? I mean, you could say the pandemic, okay. You could say the election, which was about to happen, okay. But in your life, were there things that you were worried about at that very moment 1 year ago today? There probably were. Now, do you remember them today, 1 year later? I would argue, no. Maybe if you were going through a big thing in your personal life, which I was a year ago, and it was unresolved at the time. It's now resolved, so I do remember that one, but I don't remember specifically what I was worried about on November the 1st, 2020. I don't. And so that's the lesson. Keep the big picture in mind. Don't get distracted by what you're seeing in the moment. Because what you see in the moment is just a facade. Yes, it's your life in the moment, or it's at least your perception of life in the moment. And so it's easy to get bogged down and think it'll be that way forever. Trust me, I have had those thoughts. They suck when they come on, and you just feel like you're always going to be where you are now. And especially when you're on a journey like what I'm doing on this sabbatical to 50, it can seem like how you feel on any given day is how that journey is going. And it rarely is true. Most of the time, it's going a lot better. Sorry, it looks like, it was very clouded on my screen. Most of the time, it's going a lot better than your brain is telling you. Most of the time, we're not caught up in the weeds of the day-to-day. We're not struggling. We're not all the things that we think we are on a health journey, for example. We're not those things, if you look at it from the big picture. So putting the focus on the big picture. Where are you going? What is the means by which you're trying to get to where you're going? So you need the map. You need the destination. And it needs to be reasonable, of course. We talked about that before. The big picture isn't about trying to come up with some idealized conclusion to how everything is going to go. Yes, you have hopes and dreams and wishes that this would happen, that would happen. But set reasonable ones with bigger goals in mind for after that. Look, this journey I'm on now, I'm not pretending like at the end of this 100 days that I'm going to be miraculously changed into all the ways that I want to be changed. It's just not going to happen. And I'm okay with that. That wasn't the purpose of the sabbatical to 50. That was not my purpose in creating this 100-day journey. My purpose was, okay, let's go public with this for 100 days. Show people you can be committed to something. You can make it a habit. And to prove to myself all those negative thoughts I've had about where's my place in this community anymore. So many of my friends, they're running away from the health moniker, the diet moniker, and more to just general talking, which, look, I've done a lot of the same stuff in my own work. I'm really more interested in the mindset type of stuff now than I am the diet, partly because I've done this diet stuff for so freaking long. Only so many ways you tell people, cut your carbs, eat real food. That's not a hard message. And I've done it. I've done podcasts, still doing podcasts about it. I've written books about it. But now I'm more interested in the mindset stuff and the helping people dealing with trauma in their life, which is related to health, ironically. We like to put these topics into little categories. Oh, mindset, self-help, diet, health, and fitness over here. And they're all interconnected in a lot of ways. And so keeping your eye on the big picture allows you to see everything outside the moment of where you are right now. By the way, I read a statistic yesterday that during the pandemic, kids increased their body weight. Kids. By 20%. And there are now 4 brand new states that were not in the obese category that just joined the obesity category. In other words, the preponderance of the kids in those states now are obese. Big picture, we would have gotten ahead of this. Big picture, we could have helped people get active, helped people deal with stress and anxiety a lot better than with crappy garbage. But we didn't. And now we're in a place where those kids are now at risk, at greater risk for getting unhealthy in a lot of ways. Either chronically or acutely. Your immune system is down when you're obese. So it's scary. We should have been looking big picture 2 years ago, and it could have been prevented. Okay, that's the aside. Just wanted to throw that in there. But yeah. How are you guys doing with the big picture? Do you focus on it? Do you let it be the totality of what you put your mind on? Hi, guys. Because if you're not, you need to be. The big picture is everything. Everybody likes to be up close and personal when they look at things and look at them from the here and now, where they are in the moment, and they never back up to the 20, 30,000 foot view and go, oh, I see. That's happening there, so that this over here, oh, okay. Big picture perspective will change your mind about how you feel on any given journey. I'll even go outside the realm of a health journey. I'm obviously on one of those as well. I am also out there looking for someone to share life with, and so it would be easy to look in the moment and say, okay, not really having a lot of results in this moment. It's not happening the way I want it to, I could do all that game. Or I could say, okay, I've had a few experiences talking to people. They didn't go very well, but I learned something from it. Bigger picture says, okay, take the lesson you learned from that, apply it to the next person until the right person comes along. That's the way I choose to see it. All about perspective, all about keeping the focus on the big picture. It helps keep your head on straight when things don't seem very comforting, they don't seem very clear. Life seems like it's in disarray. Almost invariably, when your life is that way, it's because you're looking at the here and now and not at the what's to come, not at the big picture of how things are unfolding. Yeah, so that's the overriding message I wanted to share with you guys here today. Day 62 of my Staybatical to 50. Back out here again. Yes, it is very cold today, just the way Jimmy Moore likes it. It's about 42, 43 degrees here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. For some reason, the kids are off of school today. I know tomorrow is an election day, so I know they're usually off school on election day. I don't know why they got off today, unless it was, no, they don't usually get off for Halloween. I don't know why they were off school today. All I know is it wasn't as crazy by my house getting to this trail today, so I'll take it, whatever it was. So what do you guys think about this topic? Put your focus on the big picture. Do you do that? And if you don't do that, and you're constantly in the moment of your journey, of whatever journey you're on, if you're constantly in the moment, how does that make you feel? Do you feel the ups, the downs, the in-betweens? Do you feel like it's kind of a roller coaster ride when you don't put your focus on the big picture? Do you feel like you have high highs on some days and low lows on other days? Or do you look at the big picture? Do you keep a finger on the pulse of what's happening in the here and now, but then long term going, okay, yeah, it sucks today, but my long-term goal is much bigger than any pain or discomfort I'm having in the moment here. So looks like you guys are being a little quiet on me today, so please speak up if you have thoughts about this. It makes this walk so much more enjoyable when you engage in the content. So thanks for being here again. Day 62, sabbatical to 50, 100 days I'm headed for. So I'm coming up on this week. I'll hit 2/3 of the way there. Hard to believe it's been that long already. In some ways it feels longer with all the injuries and things. And if you missed earlier, if you came in late, I had developed some big ass blisters on both of my big toes. My left big toe, it became this humongous bubble, which made it pretty easy to pop and drain. And now it's just this ugly skin, but it's drained and it doesn't hurt, the left one. The right one was this little bitty blister, very hard skin around it. And I tried to get in there with a straight needle. I got a little bit of stuff to come out, but boy, it is still painful. So my theory is I think these new shoes that help me with my right ankle pain, yeah, they helped with the right ankle pain, but now they've created another pain with these blisters. So it is what it is. I will deal. We'll get it dialed in. But look, I could see that in the here and now and go, man, I have run into so many obstacles all along this way, and I guess that's a sign I should quit and blah, blah, blah. No. I'm looking at the big picture. These are all temporary things. Look, at some point those toes are going to create hard skin and it won't blister anymore. My ankles have done that, by the way. Not my ankles, my heels have done that. As I've been walking, my heel skin has gotten a lot harder. I guess walking out here every day for an hour, talking to you guys, does that. But let's see what you have to say about this topic. Put your focus on the big picture. Do you do it? And if you do, how does that help you? If you don't do it, tell me what's happening. Do you find you're more anxious, you're more up, you're more down? Let's see what you guys have to say. So let's see what's been said so far. Good morning, good morning. Nutrition-minded movement says daily action steps. Yes, put the steps into action and execute them. You guys know my plan is this 60-minute walk a day. I've got an infrared sauna, a red light, a vibration plate. I do grounding with sunshine exposure. I do meditation. I do ice bath, cold shower. Which, by the way, I got an update on the ice bath. The official company I bought one of those tanks from, Morozco Forge is what they're called. They contacted me and they said, sorry for the delay in your delivery, Mr. Moore. We want to upgrade you to deliver it to your local airport and have someone come and set it up. That was not what they were going to do initially. So I will give them A for customer service, realizing they're very late on delivering this thing. So I look forward to that. Good morning, guys. Chilly enough for you?
Yeah.
So that will be coming probably in the next couple of weeks. So as they start the production of my Morozco Forge, which I also negotiated with them. Okay, you're so late on delivering. Can I ask for a discount on an upgrade? Because I did not get in the original one. I did not get the filtration system. I was just going to dump the water often and refill it and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't get the filtration system. If I get the filtration system, it's constantly filtering the water so that as you use it, it cleans it when you're done and a lot more efficient. So that filtration system was like $4,000. I'm like, ugh. So they said, okay, we have been very late. Any way you could do it for half of that. So they said, how about $1,900? I'm like, done. So it's going to have the filtration system. It's basically you fill it up with water, plug it in, and you can set it at any temperature you want. So if you want 33 degree water, you can set it to stay at 33 degree water. And in the hot summer sun, where these guys are from, Phoenix, Arizona, hot summer sun, 115 degrees, it's still 33 degrees in that water. So I'm excited to get it. Currently, I'm doing a lot of cold showers, partly because it's so cold outside that the pipes are cold, that the water coming through the pipes is just so icy already. There's no sense in me dumping ice into a bathtub and trying to wiggle my body down in it, blah, blah, blah. So I stay in there for a good amount of time, covering my head. I get more exposure to the head and on the stomach area, which is where I'm trying to mobilize that brown fat. All big picture, you guys. Always looking at what it is. And yes, that's one of my habits, one of my daily action steps that has served me well on this journey. Bulletproof coconut, go Jimmy! Nutrition Mindset says health should always be a priority. Well, it should be. If you don't have health, you will have certain death at some point if you don't put your focus on your health. People who prioritize their health sooner in life end up having more life to live. There's a lot of people that have the notion of, well, I'm going to die anyway. I might as well die happy. Okay, I don't know about you, but having a heart attack at 45 does not sound like dying happy. No matter what you did in your life up until that point. I don't understand that mentality. Live today, eat, drink, and be merry. Okay. You can eat, drink, and be merry in a healthful way. And I'm not saying you have to be anal retentive about any diet plan or anything all the time. But the preponderance of the time, you get this one body to take care of. And yeah, a lot of us have challenges. You guys know, and a lot of you know from personal experience, how hard it is when it seems so easy for other people. It can be so hard for you. And I tell people, look, you're not the only one where it's hard. You're not the only one where you're doing all these good things and you barely see anything move, and then you see somebody else being very lackadaisical and they're seeing incredible results. And you go, what the hell? Why? How is it so easy for them and they're doing practically the same thing I'm doing except a lot looser and they're seeing better results? Oh, our minds go there, don't they? Not fair. I don't know why it's so hard for me. Trust me, been there, done that, written the book 1,000,000 times. But you keep trudging forward, because I know in the bigger picture, what I'm doing right now is going to serve me well. And I've talked about this before on these walk and talks. A lot of the things that I think about on this journey is, what will 50-year-old Jimmy think of 49-year-old Jimmy? Because I'm turning 50 in December. What would that guy think about the guy I am right now? What would he say to me? He would say, big things coming. You got to look at the big picture. You got to stop living in the here and now, thinking how you feel in the moment is how you're always going to feel. Things can change in a flash, for the good or for the bad. I think we only focus on the flash of bad things, but there are flashes of good things too. I never would have imagined 15 years ago, when I was struggling financially, trying to find my way in this health world. Where do I fit? Where do I belong? What are my skills that I could use to do something with? All those thoughts were there. And in 2009, I almost gave up everything because I was just like so frustrated. But I had a bigger picture mindset even then, that bigger things were coming. I just had to be patient and wait on them. And it was a big sacrifice financially. 2009, the crash of the stock market and everything in 2008 just killed everybody. Nobody wanted to spend any money. And it was a scary time financially in my own life. So thankfully, I made it through that time, came out the other side of it. And 3 years later, I got a book deal to start writing books for a major publisher. And then you got Cholesterol Clarity, Keto Clarity, Complete Guide to Fasting, and all the other books that I'm known for now. Had I given up, had I not seen the big picture, none of those things would have ever happened. Living La Vida Low Carb Show would have went away. All the things that became, I guess, the defining moments of my career would have never happened because I would not have looked at the big picture. But I always knew I had bigger things in mind. And look, right now, here at the end of 2021, I don't feel like I've had the best success I've had yet. I feel like there's bigger things to come because I have that expectation of myself, knowing who I am, what I have to offer. And the big picture won't let me let go of shifting over into the next phase of the success. And it's just the way my mind operates. So easy to get bogged down by the here and now, by what's right in front of you, and by what you're hearing in the moment. But look further down the road, guys. Bigger things are coming. Good morning, Linda. Thank you for being here. Jordan, I hadn't seen you on one of my walk-in talks before. LOL, I've been all those things. Yes. Yes, you have. I have admired your journey, Jordan. You are one resilient woman. I've always considered you a great friend within the keto space. Can't say that about everybody in the keto space, just being honest. But you're one of the legit people. I love how you pour yourself out. You be vulnerable with your followers. It's awesome. We should get you back on my podcast, Jordan, sometime. I would love to let you share about what's on your heart and mind. I know you've been through a lot of stuff. Let's do that. Hook me up. Send me a DM. We'll do a podcast soon. Kira says, the big picture is more the aspirations. For me, I'm too busy in the daily details of workouts and testing. Well, I'm not saying that the here and now things that you're doing are unimportant. I'm saying they're not the totality. And yes, while the big picture might seem like aspirations, and it is, I would say it's also a manifestation of what it is that you're working so hard on right now on. Because if you're working your ass off, you want it to be going somewhere. You want to have some picture down the road of what all this hard work's going to look like. And while sometimes we have things in mind about what we think the big picture should be, sometimes we get to the other side of it and we go, oh, that's not what I expected, but I sure do like this place. And I think that's a good way to look at it as well. I love that you're so focused in the moment, doing all the things, and I think people should do all the things. But I think what I'm referring to of being in the moment is letting the moment define everything about... Sorry, that dog freaks me out every time I walk by this house. In the moment, define everything about where you're going, and it's just not true. Of course, Kira, you're strong enough. You don't let that shit bother you, so good for you. Jordan says, quitting is easy. Staying in the game is what's hard. Yeah, there have been many moments I've been watching your journey, Jordan, where it would have been so easy for you to just give up. All the everything you've been through. I don't want to tell all your business on my walk and talk, but guys, go follow Jordan's WAINX, and you'll see a wonderful human being. Long admired you, Jordan. You put it all out there, and I love it. All right, guys, this blister's made me stop my halfway point right here, so we're going to turn around. Usually I go a little further, but I'm in a little bit of pain from the blister. At least I'm out here walking. Yesterday morning was impossible to walk with that blister. I posted it on my stories and went, yeah, this is why I'm not walking today, you guys. And it was painful. So painful. Berkeley says, even when I'm derailed, I refuse to give up. I use the place time on my goals. I used to place time on my goals. With my personality, I will self-sabotage, though. So now I accept this as lifelong, will not quit. Yeah, I love that, by the way, that if you don't put any time parameters on a journey, there's no pressure. Now, the inverse of that is true as well. If you don't put time parameters on it, maybe it never gets actually done. I'm writing a book with my friend Brittany right now, and she said, when do you need the chapters by? I said, okay, just start working on it and just send them to me when you get them. No, Jimmy, you don't understand. I need a deadline. I said, okay, I need this one by this date, this one by this date, this one. And she's like, great. So my brain does not work that way. I guess I'm a self-motivator. I don't need a time frame to get me moving, especially with a book or whatever. So that was funny to me. But you're right. Make it lifelong. Make it this pursuit. And while, yes, this is a 100-day journey for me, it doesn't end at 101 days. I'm not done. In some ways, I'll just be beginning. So thanks for that input. Kira says, I'm also working through a left knee injury right now, which is keeping me from my jiu-jitsu and my HIIT training. You adapt and move forward because the big picture is increase muscle mass. And see, that's your goal. Increase muscle mass. If you have limitations on achieving that goal, you shift. You do other things until you can heal up and get back to those things that will help you towards the goal as well. So, but I love that. Yes. Adaptation has been so key for me on this journey, you guys. And adaptation could be, okay, I may not be able to do that, but I can do this. Or adaptation may be, I need to rest today so I can come back strong tomorrow. That's keeping the big picture in mind as well. I'll give you a football analogy since I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Last night, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, was going to be a game time decision because he had a calf injury from the week before. And at game time, they decided they were not going to play Dak. So, had they played Dak and he got injured, he could be out for the season. Would that have helped the big picture of the Dallas Cowboys? No. They would have pretty much, he's like their star. So that would have pretty much knocked them out of contention. But if they rest him, which is what they did, the backup came in, did really good. They won the game. But by resting him, they looked at the big picture and said, okay, let's give him another week to heal. And then we'll put him back out there hopefully next week. And he'll come back stronger. Big picture. You have to look at those things. Another sports analogy a few years back when Kevin Durant played for the Golden State Warriors, ended up being his last game. He had a bum ankle. And he went out there and he was lighting it up. He hit 3 or 4 shots in a row. And then suddenly he took a hard stomp into the ground trying to set his feet. And he re-injured the same injury, which then knocked him out all of last year and into this year a little bit. He's playing now, but look what happened. It injured him. They weren't looking at the big picture. They were just like, we need to win now, and we can't win without KD. So there's life lessons around this everywhere if you look for them. Bulletproof coconut. A properly done healthy diet is enjoyable. Everything in moderation also means dementia in moderation, disease in moderation. Yeah, I don't like that phrase, everything in moderation, or everything in balance. Like, what the hell is balance? There are some things that do not belong even in balance. How much arsenic in moderation are you going to consume or rat poison in moderation. It's moderation. Of course, moderation is such a vague term too. Who the hell knows what it means? And I think that's by design. Just tell people to eat in moderation and they'll pretend like they're doing good. What you end up doing is eating less, but less of a bad thing, which doesn't nourish you, which makes you hungry. There are so many things about diet culture. I still want to write a book exposing the diet culture, the weight loss industry, how they use buzzwords to fool people. And boy, oh boy, I've been at this a very long time. People are still so clueless. So clueless. I'm amazed by the belief systems that people have. And you ask them where they got that from. Well, it's just true. Everybody knows that. Like, no, not everybody. You can say it's conventional wisdom. You can say it's what is believed to be known, culturally speaking. But it doesn't make it true. And yet a lot of people, well, I heard that. Where'd you hear it? Well, I don't know. I just heard. Okay, well, you heard wrong. Thank you for playing. Have a nice day. Next. Sandra came to low carb, high fat for the weight loss. Done. And now the big picture includes muscle building, living a painless life until I die. I love that. Big picture is also self-sufficiency for as long as I possibly can. I'm 75 years old. Sandra, that is amazing. I think about both of my parents. They are in their early 70s, and they're both very frail. My mom is morbidly obese. She got a lot of health issues. And I haven't talked to my dad in a few years, but the last I heard, he was kind of not doing well, mental faculties. They both had hard lives. My dad had tremendous childhood trauma with an alcoholic father. Beat the crap out of him, berated him, made him hard, which then made him that way towards me. He was not an alcoholic, but he was still just as physically and verbally abusive as his dad was to him. And yeah, I feel for him. Now he's in his early 70s. He's not all there mentally. Physically, he's becoming a lot more frail. I have a feeling he won't be around for much longer. And he's holding on to all that trauma from his childhood that he never dealt with. I'm so grateful that I've dealt with mine. And I still have moments with mine. I still have to process that because that happened and this happened and that happened. And look, you can play that game in your mind of regretting all the things that happen in your life. I don't. I wish things had gone differently, obviously. But I don't wish that things had been different. Things were the way they were. And I'm here today doing what I'm doing because of all those things. Would I be here today but for all those things? I don't know. Probably not. Because a lot of my obesity came from eating to comfort myself after the trauma. In my 20s, I ballooned up. I went from around 200 pounds to over 400 pounds in my 20s. And that was just, I was in a bad place mentally, didn't know how to deal with the trauma that had happened to me. And it was tough. You've got to honor those things. And looking back and going, okay, but that made me who I am. I think I'm more kind-hearted and understanding towards people because I've seen the ugliness of the other side of not being kind-hearted. It changes you. So I don't regret my past because it is who I am now. Now, I'm excited about my future because I can paint it in any way I want to. And so that's what I'm pursuing now. That's my big picture. Yeah, I've had a shitty first half of my life. Let's go home in stride in the second half of life. Got too much life to live still. The best really is yet to come. That's what I believe. So good job for you, Sandra. Proud of you. Keep it up. Tiffany says, love your encouragement. Thank you, sweetie. Good to see you here. You're another one that knows about the ups, downs, and in-betweens of life. It can seem so intense in the moment and overwhelming. And sometimes we succumb to that. Good morning. But you keep smiling anyway, right? You keep doing all the things. Alice says, regarding the blisters, maybe you should have splurged on the bougie socks at the running store. Oh, is that what the socks do, is they prevent blisters? They didn't try to sell me socks. They have socks that are made differently from regular socks. Okay, well, that's good to know. All I know is my right big toe is going wong, 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 wong right now. Let's just say I had to put a second mortgage on my house just to buy these shoes. Yes, they're very expensive. But the ankle doesn't hurt. So that was the goal. Get my ankle out of pain. Mission accomplished. Oh, you thought you were going to be out of pain, Jimmy? Here. Toes, blisters. Ding, ding. A man can ask for everything, but he doesn't always get it. Karen says, I made it. You did make it. A little bit late today, but that's okay. Time change, I think, is happening this coming up weekend. I think it's on Sunday. So, Sunday will be the first day that I go live an hour earlier than I'm doing now. Won't be an hour earlier on the clock. Well, yeah, it will be. Because the sun, I go out when the sun comes up. So, it'll be 6:45-ish when I'm out on the trail rather than 7:45. So that'll be fun. Kira says a Lyft driver wanted me to try the chicken noodle soup diet because she lost 5 pounds so far. I tried to explain noodles don't help. This happened when I was in Vegas. Yeah, everybody's going to have their, well, this worked for me, you should try it. Okay, worked. I don't want to see 1 week. Yes, the chicken noodle soup is basically, I'm going to act like I'm sick diet. That's a hypocaloric diet. You can eat cardboard soup diet and get the same results. It is funny, all the things that people will try, all in the name of the holy grail of losing weight. I don't know about you guys, I am over weight loss. Yeah, fuck that. I don't care about weight loss. Yes, I want to be smaller, I want to have less of a belly, but not some number on a scale. I'm over that game. They have fooled me for the final time. I have not stepped on a scale this entire 62 days. Except at the very beginning, I did see just where I started, just so I can get a barometer of where I started. And I did one time early on, because I was discouraged. But other than that, I haven't stepped on the scale one time, I think since day 5. And so, just not interested. That's not what jazzes me. That's not what's motivating me. That's not the big picture that I'm shooting for. That's why my goals in this sabbatical to 50 have been change my body composition, not lose weight, change body composition. And to have clearer mind and change some mindset things. And then to just watch what happens. How many people go into a health journey? I just want to see what happens. I'm going to do all the things. Not going to have any parameters. I'm just going to do the thing. And let's see what happens. Not many. Because culture tells you, oh, you have to have a goal. A weight loss goal. Whoop-de-doo. No, thank you. Susan says, was just going to ask about your toe. Sorry it's hurting. Yeah. And now the left one is giving me a little bit of pain too. Look, it's going to be one of those things that I've got to figure out a way to protect the inside of my big toes with these new shoes. But I'm out here going a little slower today than I typically do. They look rambunctious.
Yeah, they are. It's 4 o'clock in the morning they start.
Oh boy. Cute little dogs. So yeah, I'm just making it. Getting through it. Gritting my teeth a little bit, getting through the pain. But considering the ankle pain I've walked through, all the things that I've gone through doing this trail the first 62 days, I'll make it. It'll be all right. Kira says, diet culture strikes again with chicken noodle soup. If only it was a bone broth and fasting. So close, but they will fail. Yeah, that's basically all it is a liquid diet, starving yourself. Of course you're going to lose weight. Not good. Cardboard keto, says bulletproof coconut. Yes. Probably healthier than a lot of that crap. I tell people, if you're going to eat junk food, eat the packaging. It's healthier. Eat the cardboard box it came in. Way healthier than the shit they put in there with red dye number 40. Processed everything. I mean, I'm not a purist. If you want those things on occasion, fine. But I can tell you, I used to eat those more than just on occasion. I gave blood on Saturday at the local blood bank. Been a little while since I did that. I get in there, and sweet people in there, I've given blood many times. They say, oh, we got to test your blood pressure. I'm like, okay. And they put the cuff on, and it said 170 over 102. I went, holy crap. What? She's like, you can't get blood if your blood pressure's that high. I'm like, I know. Why is it that high? Well, are you nervous? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't like needles, but can't imagine that making my blood pressure go that high. So she said, we'll sit here for about 5 minutes. We'll come back and test again. She comes back and tests again, 120 over 74. I'm like, way to freak me out. Those things are all tools anyway. They're not meant to always be the be-all, end-all. Good morning. So anyway, I gave blood. Got a nice little hole puncture in the arm. But it came out really good. I like doing that too if you've got high iron levels, which mine were 19. She said it was perfect. The last thing you want to do if you have low iron is get blood. So definitely was not low. But it's good also to bloodlet, to kind of clean out some things in your body and da-da-da. So I like to do that on occasion. I did make the mistake, this has been several years ago now, maybe like 8-9 years ago. I made the mistake of giving blood too often because I heard you don't want to let iron build up in your blood, da-da-da. I'm like, okay, I will give as often as they let you, which is every 8 weeks. So basically every 2 months, I was going back. 6 times a year. And after about 1.5 years of doing that, I fortuitously had a functional medicine doctor run a bunch of labs on me. And he called me when the results came back and said, are you feeling okay? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, your iron is obscenely low. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've always had high iron levels. Always. And he's like, well, normal is like 15 to 20. Yours is 2. I went, what? He said, how are you not feeling that? I don't know. Maybe ketosis was mitigating it. I don't know. He said, well, you need to start cooking in cast iron skillets. You need to eat as much red meat as you can. You need to take some iron supplements and get that back up. I'm like, this is so crazy to me, because I've done just the opposite. Avoided iron supplementation. Not cooked in cast iron skillets. Backing off on red meat so much and mixing it up with other meats. So it's just kind of funny that all in the name of health, I was doing this bloodletting, but there is such thing as too much of a good thing. Thankfully, we caught it, because he's like, you would have been hospitalized very soon if it had kept going down. 2 is obscenely low. Like you can't let it fall that low. I didn't feel it, so I didn't know. He might have saved my life that day. I don't know. All these things you do for your health, and sometimes you can do them the wrong way. Way to power through, Jimmy, says Susan. Yeah. Look, if it means I walk a little slower today, it is what it is. I'm still getting fresh air, getting sunshine in my face, getting the walk in, even if I'm limping a little bit. And I am. It's all worth it. Plus, I'm getting the cold. It's like 40-something degrees here. So my ears are literally, you can see the icicles coming off. When I first got out, you could see the breath. I love it, though. Love it, love it, love it. Linda Lou says it looks beautiful. Yeah, I've got a really nice little trail that I get to walk along with all the trees. It's still a traditional trail. It's not going through the woods. I would prefer to go through the woods, have nice trail that way, but this is what I have near me, so it's what I'm doing for now. At some point, I do want to drive up to the mountains of North Carolina and find some trails around there. It's just not convenient for me to drive an hour to the mountain areas, go along trails to drive for 1 hour or 2, and then come back another hour. It's like, that's a lot of my day. I got too many things to get done podcasting, and I'm in the midst of writing a book, so it's lots to do. That's a weekend type of thing if I do that. Moleskin for the feet, says Mandy. Okay. Yeah, I figured they had something that you could put over it. Yeah, I'll go search that out. I was going to do that yesterday, but I was relaxing way too much, just chilling out, watching a lot of football, working on some of my book, relaxing, but I need to seek that out. Thank you for that recommendation, Mandy. Appreciate that. Ad infinitum, can you still get dental caries and cavities on Carnivore? You have the most random questions on my walk and talk, but I'm always happy to answer. Can you get cavities on Carnivore? I don't know how, because the cavity happens as a result of the deterioration of the enamel on your teeth, which happens because of carbohydrates. Sugars primarily, but also grains. Look up the work of Weston A. Price. He was a dentist that went to traditional cultures and observed their teeth. And he said the ones that had the most robust, beautiful teeth were the ones that had real whole foods, like animal foods, like you're mentioning. And so they had these big, beautiful teeth. Then when Western culture came into these same places, he observed that the teeth started to deteriorate, and the only thing they changed was they added in grains and sugars. So yes, I am of the educated opinion that it is next to impossible to get cavities and dental caries from eating a carnivore diet. I'm trying to think how that would happen. I don't know how it would happen. Hello, Arlene. Thanks for being here. Kira says, runners use Band-Aids and duct tape. I'm no runner, but I did duct tape to avoid blisters. Well, not a bad idea. Like I said, this has just happened for the first time. Was not anticipating blisters happening, so I might try that approach as well. or just wrapping it up with a nice little gauze, patting up the insides there where it can't rub. That's literally the only part of the foot that's getting a blister right now, is the inside part of both big toes. So that would probably solve it. I hear good things about North Carolina. I'm in California, ready to live elsewhere. Yeah, North Carolina's beautiful, got the mountains. I live in South Carolina, and we've got a lot of interesting things here. Obviously, the beaches is what we're most known for. Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head Island. But I live inland from there. Pretty nice little area. It's definitely not California, so if not California is what you're looking for, then I'm sure you would fit right in. Del Norte says, do you have less significant periods of depression and anxiety on keto carnivore? For me personally, I don't get depressed or anxious, not to a severe degree. I guess we all have those moments, but keto definitely helps change the brain chemistry so that you're able to handle those things when it hits. Ketone bodies are a natural antidepressant. Now, that's not to say you won't have moments, because you will. But in general, when you're fueling your body well, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs, it will reward you with a calm mood to get you through those times. But I don't even think it's just a nutrition thing. I think depression and anxiety also takes lots of other modalities. You got to work through some past traumas. I talked to a life coach who's a licensed therapist to help with a lot of my trauma. And that was wonderful. Got good friends in my life. Give me a solid foundation. Talk to them. That helps. Exercise right here, what I'm doing right now, is very good for mental health and helping with anxiety and depression. I've got a friend of mine that whenever she starts feeling overwhelmed and anxious, she goes out for a walk. I'm like, I would be surprised if you go on a walk and you don't start to feel better. Part of the walk, yes, is the physicality, but it lets you process a lot of thoughts as well. So that helps. There's so many other things you can do. Take some supplements like ashwagandha. Helps with a lot of that as well. Breathing and meditation exercises, unbelievable for helping with the depression and anxiety. So I don't think it's just a diet thing alone, but diet certainly is the foundation. If you haven't learned that from me, then I have failed you as an educator. Diet will always be the basis for everything that you do in your health. Hello. Keep Austin Keto says, beach. Yes. I'm not a beach person, not a big beach person, just because I don't like the hot. Thus why Jimmy is in shorts and t-shirt in 43 degree temperature here today. I don't do good in hot, but I thrive in the cold. But yes, they are very pretty. I love the ocean sounds. And they're very touristy areas. Myrtle Beach, very touristy. Play mini golf. Shop the little stores. Lots of restaurants and entertainment. So that makes it fun for the people that aren't into beaches. So yes, guys, day number 62 of my stay sabbatical to 50. Still chugging along on this 100-day journey. It's 50 degrees in Austin, Texas in flip-flops. Yes, I would be the same way. Flip-flop, short t-shirt, and going, So, Yeah, I'm gonna pop in a sauna here in a minute, and that bad boy is gonna feel so good. I'm able to withstand the sauna better when I'm out in the cold walking for an hour, and then I get in an infrared sauna. I can go a half an hour. During the summer, it was all I could do to get 10 to 15 minutes. I was dying. I can't breathe. But yeah, on a day like today, 30-minute sauna, it unices my ears, and I'm sweating. I love it. I've learned to love it. When I get that Morosco Forge ice tank, I will probably go back and forth between the two of them 3 or 4 times in succession, like going to the sauna for 10 to 15 minutes, then going to the Morosco Forge for 5 to 10 minutes, and then back to the sauna and back to the ice bath. That is so good for you to experience the extremes of the temperature. All right, time for me to cross the street. But yes, day 62, you guys. Stay batical to 50. Thanks for watching my journey. If you missed any of the past episodes, definitely hop over to livinlavitalowcarb.com/staybatical. Yes, Austin, so cool, and flip-flop weather, says Sharon. Yes, I would fit right in Austin, except during the summer, it's like hot. I remember going to Paleo FX and KetoCon, and they do it in like May, June, and I'm going, and they're like, it's not even the hot season yet, dude. Like, it is for me. It is for me. Beach Cottage says, you rock. Cheering you on from New York. The beach is my retirement plan. Are you following carnivore or low carb? Well, carnivore is low carb, so yes is the answer. If I had to describe my way of eating, it would be more of kind of a keto carnivore. So carnivore is basically all meat, so there is no carbs there. So it's automatically low carb. But I do like to just eat and not worry about labels so much anymore. I feel like the labels have pigeonholed us into, well, that's not keto, well, that's not carnivore. I'm over, like I said earlier, all the diet culture stuff. Too much damn bickering and people just getting confused. I think some people just seek out drama. Jimmy, not no drama king, I promise you. I don't do the drama. Had enough drama in my past. I don't want it in my present or my future. So if I meet a girl, that's going to be the prerequisite. No drama, please. Had enough drama in this life to last a lifetime. Not gonna happen. But yes, if you have to describe it, it's probably keto carnivore. So I enjoy it with periods of intermittent fasting. So on this journey, I'm doing carnivore on the odd days, and I'm fasting on the even days. So I'm about 18 or 19 hours into my fast on the fasting day today. So yes, getting at least 24 hours of fasting on the even days. Lately, though, I've been hungry a little bit sooner, so I made it to like 21 hours. Last week, one day, I think the shortest I had the fast was 19 hours. Because I honor the hunger signals. If I get hungry, I don't sit there and grit through the hunger. I'm going to eat. And with all the things that I'm doing, they're causing a lot of hunger pangs. And so, yeah, don't want that. So, but guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I am back at home sweet home. And I'm going to go and take on my day. I've got a lot of book writing I need to get done today. Brittany and I are rocking and rolling on the One Step Deeper journal. So I got to get some chapters to the guy helping me edit. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Again, check out livinlavitalowcarb.com/staybatical for all the past videos, or on IGTV or YouTube or Facebook. Just put in the hashtag staybatical250 and you'll find all the videos.